How are you? Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland.
I will have to do the newspapers. How was your night? The romantics more. I didn't because I was your night.
It was too short. It was too short. Like you're expecting what?
Yeah, more newspapers. Yeah, graphic.
It's time for us to do the newspapers, and we'll start off with the Daily Guide. Daily Graphic newspaper, front page of the Graphic. Established fiscal council to protect public purse. AMA rolls out plans to make Accra cleaner city, and Mr. Mohamed Ajay Sowa, who is the mayor of Accra, addressing a press conference. There's a picture of him on the front page of the Graphic. Ashawan for other Chinese caged at Nsawam prison. But the banner headline in the paper this morning, horror in Tadi as gas explosion leaves over 100 injured. Back page of the Daily Graphic now provide antiretroviral therapy at antenatal clinics. That's Dr. Ado there speaking in this piece. You can read about it in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Well, just a bit of that. It says that the 2016 HIV Sentinel survey report has been launched with a call on health service providers to provide antiretroviral therapy at antenatal clinics. And according to the report, most pregnant women diagnosed with the human immune deficiency virus and referred to ART treatment centers were reluctant to go because of the stigma attached to the disease. There's more in the paper this morning in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Roland?
So we have the next paper. The Ghanaian Times has on the front page, Takoradi gas explosion, 6 fire personnel, 85 others were told injured. And you have horrid pictures of the incident there. We're told that it took place at a site close to Takoradi or in Takoradi. We have irate youth police clash in Tema and Gitmo 2 judgment today. Chinese Galamsey kingpin remanded in custody. And then we have on the back page, Ghana's 16th anniversary of May 9 football disaster. We have Thomas Boachiajima, representative of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, laying a wreath together with a representative of Hearts, Vicentia Deku. Minister of Youth and Sports considers stadium closure. And apparently, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Isaac Isiama, says the ministry was considering a closure of the Accra Sports Stadium for maintenance works to commence. And he said a decision to close the facility was as a result of recent information brought to the attention of the ministry that the present state of facility was not safe for fans. Oh, that's a serious one. If you make an entry into the stadium, you could see some of the rusty metals of the stadium, and then you will say that the maintenance culture of ourselves have not been the best.
Yeah. You're done?
I am done.
All right, and I'll continue with the Finder newspaper. So front page of the Finder this day, today, Wednesday, over 100 injured in Takoradi gas explosion. Also, Galamsey, Ghana loses $2.3 billion in royalties and taxes. They're not paid on gold produced through illegal mining. The paper says the small page 2 comes with a picture of the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, a man who's been almost everywhere, really, and I probably can say that he's the most popular minister in this era, at least at this period. Also, inadequate infrastructure hampering single window benefits. That's the Treats minister in a picture with some persons on the front page of the paper. And let's forge closer bonds. That's Foreign Affairs Minister saying there. Shelley Ayoko Butchie, there's a picture of her in the Finder as well. That's it for the paper.
And then we have the Daily Dispatch newspaper. It has on the front page, Chinese Aisha Wang caught using phone in custody. The woman still has guards, even in prison custody. So using...
Who is reporting this?
The Daily Dispatch newspaper.
Okay.
It says apparently we have the Chinese ambassador advising Ghana on Galamsey.
Yeah. But listen, it's not like a court has sentenced there. Yeah?
No.
But she's in police custody.
Oh, was it police?
Does it mean she can't use a phone? Like
No. You're supposed to have all your personal belongings and items seized.
But you do have your phone call, right? you know, when
there may be, but not handling
when
the
we
phone.
watch,
Not handling the phone. No, even.
It will be interesting probably to read details of the story to understand and
it says the Chinese lady at the center of Galamsey deals in Ghana, Aisha Wang, has been spotted using a mobile phone while in lawful custody. Aisha, who is a powerful personality in the series, okay, maybe they saw her when, okay, someone has access to her phone when she appeared in court. Even under arrest, she was spotted in open court fidgeting with a communication device, to the surprise of many who knew her freedom had been curtailed under lawful custody. Okay, I think we have to ask the police whether you can use a phone while in...
Yesterday, somebody put a post on Facebook to ask if she was really, really in prison or she was cooling off somewhere in cantonments. Let's do the Ghanaian Observer. If you're done with the dispatch, okay, let's do the Ghanaian Observer newspaper. Aisha Wang is also a very popular woman in Ghana. She's on the front page of the Ghanaian Observer. Wild jubilation in Bepotenting as court cages Aisha Wang. That's a headline. NPP Council meets over Otiko and Nabu today. Zongo Ministry to light up Zongos inner cities with solar. And Ochehine not behind Galamsey. That's attributed to the Lands Minister, Peter Amewo. We know that they issued a statement yesterday. All right, that's it for the Ghanaian Observer.
We have the last paper, the Daily Guide newspaper. Galamsey Queen caged. That's what Daily Guide did. AMA cleans Accra, and MPP hosts crunch meeting over Bugri and Otiko. 122 injured in a gas explosion in Takoradi. It's a tragic one. Okay. So those are the stories we have.
Yeah, just wondering how we sit in our country and allow somebody else to come and be queen on our land. I don't like the queen title they've given her. We'll do the online review in a bit. We're going to start off with myjoyonline.com. Quickly, let's run through the page. Otiko Jaba apologizes for Bugri Nabu fight. You heard that in our AM News this morning. But I don't know, I'm just wondering. Okay, apologizes for the fights or for the public fights, not apologizes to him. Like, what kind of apology is that? Well, I don't know. Maybe we can play back the apology sometime later this morning. Yeah. But it was an interesting conversation with Gifty Ando up here on Pulse yesterday. Let's move on and run through some more stories on myjoyonline.com. Journalists like stealing chicken, that's in quotes, and that's attributed to a Zambian minister. I hope chickens won't go missing here because the media is fond of stealing chickens. And his name is Chitotela from nowhere. Well, I don't know. It will be a story to read. FBI Chief James Comey fired by Trump. President Donald Trump has fired the director of the FBI over his handling of the inquiry into Hillary Clinton's email. The administration said, really? This is his priority? I thought he would rather be concentrating on the fact that his administration has been exposed big time by somebody who they delayed in asking him to leave.
Yeah, and this gentleman, apparently we're told, was addressing his staff somewhere in one of the states. And then he was seeing the news flash. You know, it reminds me of Africa where you're fired before you're told. You know, sometimes the heads of state in Africa, they just fire their appointees. And this
before it gets to them.
This one is in the 4th year of a 10-year term. You know, they are appointed within a fixed term.
So can you just sack him like that?
Well, I don't know whether his tenure is insulated.
Isn't this guy more Republican?
Not necessarily. They don't necessarily appoint you because...
I know.
No, he was appointed during the Obama era.
Exactly. But I think you remember the press conference, the series of statements that he made about the emails just before the elections, the voting. This is the man that really? Hillary blames for her defeat.
Kind of tilted the public opinion towards Donald Trump.
I think one of the things they said about him was that, you know, like he's cool, he's quiet, he's more of a Republican.
I think that when Donald Trump resumed office, he had been investigating whether the Russian intelligence community was involved somehow in the U.S. elections.
Yeah.
And I believe that maybe he was tickling too much feathers. He was taking his agenda too far.
Is he not supposed to be independent?
He's supposed to
See,
be.
when you allow them to use you, then they would want to use you forever.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Charlie, let's move on.
Okay.
Dr. Indum donates $64,000 to Catholic institutions. The chairman of Ghana's largest conglomerate, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum, has made a donation to some religious and educational institutions in the country as part of his 64th birthday presentations. Now, that's like, this is the kind of money you want living in Ghana, really. People who can give and who can give big to institutions that matter. Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum. I hope that a lot of people will learn from him, and all of us will learn and give. Even if you can't give as much as 64,000, you can give any amount at all so that we can help. We have a project of our own, Save a Mother, Save a Child, so we can help put up a mother and baby unit, a well-deserving one, for the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. So let's all take a cue from Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum today. More stories on myjoyonline.com. Minority charges Akufo-Addo to bring Jaba Nabu to order. So, you know, this issue of Otiko Jaba and Bugri Nabu, the NDC minority in parliament is also adding its voice to this matter, because there was a big allegation made here that is beyond NPP NDC really, and this case is in court. They think that these two should be invited for questioning. Also on My Joy Online, GIPC plans to issue green cards to foreign investors at $5 million. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center is looking at offering citizenship or a green card to foreign investors in return for capital. Chinese Galamsey Queen will no longer be a sacred cow in Galamsey fights. That's according to Information Minister Mustafa Hamid. World Bank confirms discussions to extend Ghana's IMF program. The World Bank country director has confirmed the International Monetary Fund is in discussions with Ghana over extension of the fund program. NPP National Council meets today over Otiko versus Bugri feud. There are people who are speculating that Otiko Jaba will soon be fired or reshuffled or something of the sort. We'll see what happens. Amewu backs Ochehene in BNI Galamsey reports scandal. Gas explosion in Takoradi leaves fire officers 50 others injured. I think one of the papers says over 100 injured. Auction state vehicles were without engines, tires. That's according to Intercity STC. And I think they value these vehicles before they're auctioned off. So there are lots of stories on myjoyonline.com. Any headline you've heard that's interests you, you can always log on to the sites. Roland's going to take us through City FM Online.
And on City FM Online, we will take serious action against Otiko Bugri Nabu. Well, the apologies have started coming in, so I don't know how they can be raining. But once somebody apologizes, it means that you just have to forgive and move on. That's Samuel Uku, National Youth Organizer of the MPP. You know, about the MPP to decide Otiko and Bugri Nabu's fate today. And School of Survey closed down after clashes over land. The other ones are about who are front runners for the job of Chief Justice, etc. Justices Jones Maulom Doche and
Maulom is part of his name?
Yeah, I read that yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And then also Enini Eboa, front runners for the CJ job. Any of them get it, Charlie? They deserve it. If one doesn't get,
it will be interesting to find out from Mrs. Theodora Georgina Wood, who she thinks can be Chief Justice.
Yeah, would have been.
It will be
You know,
very
she doesn't
interesting
talk
to find
often,
out
so.
from her. Yeah, I wish the president would give her an opportunity to make a choice, and then he goes for it.
Oh, great.
That would be good. Yeah. Have you been to the Supreme Court, like, you know, where their offices are, the justices?
Yes, I have been.
Yeah. I mean, I stepped there for the first time. Like, I saw all these people that we've been reading about, like their names on the doors. I was like, oh my God, this is Justice Doche's office, and this is Enimi Eboa. Like, there's this kind of
Some
thing
aura
that
and some
exactly.
reverence to them. Yes.
Yeah. It's
And
a
that's
special
what they are.
place.
We'll see how that goes. And
Yep.
well,
Okay, so we're done with City FM.
we're done with City
let's
FM now.
do.
Can we go to the world page? Can we go to the home page first before we come to the Africa page, if we have the time? We're just 40 minutes into the first hour. So while we do that, let's do Chibok Girl refused to be released. A spokesman for apparently Nigeria's president says the young woman said she has a husband and is happy.
See? Told ya.
I don't know why
I told ya. I told ya. Okay, so this story has to do with these girls who were exchanged. Was it over the weekend? Yes, over the weekend. And the story is, this one in particular is talking about one of the girls who says she's married and is happy. She doesn't want to go back. She wants to go back to her Boko Haram husband.
I'm sure they have kids or a kid. I think we've been narrating this for the last 2 days. But how some of them psychologically will now be into their new people. And be thinking that, well, they are not bad after all. Even dictators have loving people.
Yeah, exactly. And when a woman is in love, it doesn't matter who you think that person is. It's what they see and what they know about them. So you see, we know them for one thing, but they have perhaps discovered something more personal, something more emotional. They see the human beings within them and they love them just the way they are. It's a very difficult subject to think that these are girls who were picked up from a school. And I listened to one girl, one girl narrate the incident. They didn't think these were bad guys initially. Because, you know, it was a chaotic scene. They just said, come, we're going to help you. It was when they got into the vehicles that they realized that, no, these are actually not the good guys. This person who was narrating got off the vehicle. She managed to jump off, so she didn't end up in their camp. But most of them were taking off. And then
the girls initially thought the guys were the blooming.
Yeah.
And apparently they turned out to be the killers.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I just think that they kept too long in doing this exchange program. If they knew they could get the girls back, why wait for what? This is the 3rd year, isn't it? Why wait for such a long time? Because 3 years, Charlie, it's a good time for a girl to fall in love and like somebody like crazy. Wow. Yeah. I don't know.
So much love.
It's sad, but it's, Charlie.
So much love on Mama V's mind.
Girls
and love.
Italian FA may be disciplined over Montari. I think Montari should just leave the club.
Yeah, go to Saudi Arabia and play some good team and get some.
No, not Saudi Arabia. I think he's still very active. That's a place where you retire.
But he's 32.
Yeah, he shouldn't retire now. Maybe he should go back to England.
What's that?
He should go back to England.
Age, 32.
He should go back to England.
Yeah, he can play a very good team in England, I think so.
Okay, so there's some African highlights also on the page. Femi Kuti admits sax record failure. Mugabe takes medical leave. Oh wow. Where is he going? U.S. cuts Kenya health aid money. Down. Story says that the U.S. says it has corruption concerns, but stresses that money for essential health services remains. Africa, that's our problem. We don't have enough money to fund anything of ours. When people give us the aid, we divert the monies into something else. Yeah.
Africa.
All right, so there are more stories on the pages we've visited. We urge you to go to the newsstands and grab the newspapers.
And on the main page, we have, of course, Trump firing the FBI chief, Comey. And the White House says he was sacked for botching the Clinton email probe.
Really?
Apparently.
This is so petty.
But critics see a cover-up.
Charlie, when there's a new administration in Ghana, there are changes everywhere, yeah? It's happening. This is US. It's the same thing. Politics is like that everywhere.
Can we go up a bit? See, there's apparently a new leader who has been sworn in Korea as well. He's willing to visit Pyongyang.
So this is the man. This is the man who wants dialogue with North Korea.
Yes.
Oh, there were people that didn't like that.
Yeah.
People didn't like that, but others also did like that. I listened to a story of a woman who has a daughter and a husband in North Korea. She was ill. She couldn't get treatment in North Korea. So she wanted to travel to South to get the treatment. But there's a rule or whatever it is. Once you cross the border, you can't go back. So you get a new identity in the form of you get a new passport, and it doesn't allow you to go back. So she's been living in South Korea, and her husband, and she couldn't even speak to them because you can't even make a phone call.
Yes.
So it took the CNN reporter who went to the South to listen to the woman and record the woman on his phone, and travel to the North and play back the recording for the husband and daughter. And the parent to watch, and it was so emotional, so emotional. In 10, they also recorded their message, and then he took it back to South Korea for them to
There's
watch it.
so
and
many
listen.
emotional stories between the two, and they're one people.
Yeah.
They're one people. They speak the same language from the same ethnic.
It's
ethnic
sad.
background.
You know what is even, when I was watching the story, I was like, oh gosh, we watch Western news all the time and they paint a different picture. It's just the one way that we know about North Korea. I tell you what, ask about 10 people what they know about North Korea and it will all be negative.
Yes.
You know, we don't even know the proper inside stories, and this is what we're fed on. Yeah.
It's what
All
the West wants us to think
Exactly.
about our world.
And they've succeeded.
Yes, they have. They have. A very sad situation, though, that we need to have this kind of division in the geopolitics of the world.
All right, so we've got business later on this morning here on our show. But first, we want to catch up with some sports. We know there was Champions League action yesterday.
Yeah,
Juve is through?
Yes, they're through. They
Yeah.
played against Monaco. It was a very good game. I watched the game, and there was a great volley by a former Barcelona left back, I believe, or right back. That's Dani Alves,
Okay.
and it was a great goal. People and all social media showered praises.
Yeah.
And they said he was the eventual winner after leaving Barca, because he could be a Champions League winner again in 3 years. Winning.
It will be good to see Juventus lift the cup. I mean, I haven't seen that in a long while. It'll be refreshing.
I think more so because I don't want Real Madrid to be the team that, in the modern era, in the current state of the Champions League, repeating the feat twice in a row.
Yeah. It's just Zidane. Like, I love the guy, and I want him to succeed. I want him to...
Well, I love the guy. I don't think he's a great coach.
Whatever. Isn't he winning?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. What makes a great coach?
Good players.
Excuse me? Go and ask Mourinho. He's lifting the cup. Stay with us.